Today I'll be tying a CDC Little Olive Stone. This is a fly I came up with recently to imitate the little olive stones I find on my local river. This is size 16, and I tie these in size 16s and 18s to match the natural. It's a pretty simple tie. And I'll start with a Daiichi 1100 hook in size 16. I'll crimp the barb. And the thread I'm using is some olive, Danville 70 denier or 6/0. I start about an eye length behind the eye of the hook and just wrap back with touching turns. Cut off the tag end, continue to the hook bend. You notice I unravel my thread, try to flatten it. For the body, I'll be using some olive turkey flat. This is a turkey wing. As a turkey biot I'll be using, and the biot is on the leading edge, so it's these fibers right here. And let's see if I can select one from the top. It'll be a little bit narrower, which will work for me. And I put it around the hook, and I can tell that there's a furled edge on this side and a smooth edge on this side. Some people talk about the notch in here, and I can't ever remember that, so I just, to double check, I just put it around the hook, and that will tell me. I'm going to just trim off one portion of it, the smaller end of it, so that when I begin to wrap, it will be the right dimension. And I'm just making a touching turn as I go forward to about the 1/3 mark, and you can go back and forth and create just a little bit of a taper if you like. Doesn't take a lot. I'll flatten my thread, and I use some Zap-A-Gap, the brushable type. This is just to reinforce the biot material from a fish's tooth. Get my hackle pliers, and I'll begin to wrap forward. And you'll see that the furled edge is forward now, and with each successive wrap, I will cover that furl, and that will create a segmentation with the light and dark natural material that is in the biot. Make one more wrap, and we'll tie that off. Just make a tight wrap that will hold it in place. A couple more to secure it, and we'll trim off the excess. This is where I tie in the wing, and I'm using some medium done CDC. I've selected a couple of feathers. They can be any size. I like to have them a little bit wispy, and I'll just match the tips. I just get them close, and then I can use my thumb and forefinger to align the tips. Then I'll use my index finger on the hook in order to measure, or not measure, but keep it steady. And I want it a little bit longer than the bend of the hook. And this allows me to keep it in one place. And then I'll take my other hand, sweep the fibers back, and then take a soft wrap and 2, and we'll make sure that that stays on top. Make a couple of more securing wraps, and we'll trim this off. You can trim them both at the same time, but I find I can get them closer by just doing them one at a time. And the last step is just to tie on some hackle. So I'm just selecting some medium done hackle. This is a whiting neck. And I've got a hackle here, which we will trim. So I get the size 16, since I'm tying a size 16. I clean off the barbules, make a soft wrap, and then just take consecutive turns. And then I will put a little bit of dubbing on. You don't have to, you can just tie it. Let me get some dubbing. It's just some super fine dubbing. Use just a tiny bit, that's too much. I'm just going to build a little tiny thorax. It doesn't take a lot, and then I'll just wrap forward. I like to hold my hackle up, and I come up with my thread, open the fiber so I don't bind down the barbules, and I will trim, flatten my thread, move to the right to the hackle, and we're ready for a whip finish. I'll trim the thread, and I'll also trim the hackle even with the hook. I just like it to ride flatter in the water. That's all personal preference for you, but that's what it looks like when the hackle is clipped, and that will just ride lower in the water a little bit. And as I said, that's been a really effective fly for me. So once you tie a few up, I'll leave a link to the fly pattern sheet on my RiverKeeper Fly website. And I hope to see you soon.